Francesca on the fan on this Friday, December the 15th. It will be a football Friday, unlike others, because it will be my final show on the fan, which I think everybody understands by now. So I thank everybody for yesterday. Everyone who came down to the Paley Center. My guys here who did a great job. And I saw a couple things that, people send me different stuff. A couple people saying that I would really acted well since I knew every guest that I had put the list together. I was not aware of anybody on that list except I did know Imus was calling because I had to do his show to reciprocate. I figured Dog would be calling, so that didn't surprise me. And I did know about LT because LT actually had one of his people text me because he didn't have the control room number. So I did know LT was trying to call late in the show, and then I didn't think he was going to call, so because it had gotten late. But he had texted me looking for the control room number. So other than LT, and I could have figured on some of them. Okay, there were some ones that I knew would be there, like Jim Nance or Susan Wallman, but a lot of them, some of them absolutely shocked me, and I have to admit, and these guys did a great job jamming into a show where you still got to get in, 18 minutes of commercials an hour. Getting 85 guests into the show is not easy. And we got 80, according to the count that Chernoff kept, 85 guests into the show yesterday, which is a lot. And I thank everybody who took the time to do it, and some people who I had not talked to in years. Really, and some who I didn't even know were talking to me anymore, like Dick Ebersol, who hadn't talked to me in years because he was angry about something I said on the air. He and I used to be close, but I hadn't spoken to him in years. So now, and also he's been traveling a lot too, but it was nice to hear from him and a bunch of different folks. It really was a great show. Really was. Now, today will be different in that today it's your chance. For those of you who call, for those of you who listen, okay, this will be our last day together, and late in the show I will address things to you. But for those who actually do call or wish to call today for the first time, you're going to get a chance because nobody's on today except the callers. That's it. There's no guests. We've taken everybody out of the show today. We will do some updates with Mink when we get them in, but it's about you folks today. And then the last 20 minutes or so, I'll just kind of, reminisce a little bit and, figure out a way to say goodbye after 30 years, which obviously not an easy thing to do in any way. So it's been a wild couple of weeks. The reaction's been overwhelming. The fans have been great. And I understand, listen, somebody say, oh, somebody wrote something nasty about you. Well, listen, a couple places I expected, if you can figure that out. But, hey, take the good with the bad, and the good has so outweighed the bad, it's not even worth discussing, and it has been more than anybody deserves or anybody could ever expect. The reaction has been overwhelming from the Tillis Center a month ago to Mulcahy's last week, where people stood outside from 6 o'clock in the morning, to yesterday, to all the people who showed up on the show yesterday, to everybody here, who has come and I just finished, taking photos with everyone who won photos the last half hour. So, this is it. It hasn't really sunk in yet. Like, people have asked me, I've done so many interviews. People have asked me, has it sunk in? Well, no, it hasn't, number one. Also, I've just been so busy, it's been kind of hard to even, get time to think about it. But what I really think it will get to me is after the first of the year. Now, normally late in December anyway, it's hectic. It's Christmas time. Then right after Christmas, we got all the bowl games and people travel, and all of a sudden it's New Year's. So you know how crazy and how different everything is over the holidays. Once you get to where you like the 23rd of Christmas until New Year's, it's a different time of year. No one thinks about anything except family and holidays and where you're going and this and that and throwing some football. And that's how everyone lives. We understand that. That's really everybody's time. So, but when after the New Year starts, after the school year starts, and after you be getting back to your routine, 2nd, 3rd of January, getting ready for playoff games, talking about a national championship game that was played on New Year's Day in college football, a big story breaks, a big trade, a big this, and not being here in front of you, I'm sure that will be a very stark change for me. So until I go through that, I don't know how it's going to, how I'm going to react. I really don't. So I was cleaning out my office today. Sure enough, came and got my key ready. I locked the door because he already took it. So I didn't get Joe and him in the office. I tried, but it had already been promised to Boomer. So Boomer's inheriting my office starting on well, probably about 6:30. Maybe, who knows? He might be moving in now. As a matter of fact, he might be moving in before I move my stuff out. But he's getting the office, and they're changing the show a little bit. Obviously, you got a new show coming in starting on Monday. Continent, and then the folks will be joining them with their new 3-man show, which will be coming up. We wish them the best. We wish everybody the best. Joe and Evan will be here going 10 to 2. So, this is something that we created, a lot of us, and something we're all proud of. We really are. I mean, the fan is something I'm very proud of FAN. I'm very proud of everything that's happened at FAN. I think we built something to last. We've had some talented people come through here. We'll have more talented people come through here. And, I think the fan is built to be here for a long, long time. So, it will endure and it will thrive just like it always has. It'll be a little different. It'll be different for you, different for me. But that's the way things happen. 30 years of this has been a blessing. It's been a gift. It's more than anybody could have ever hoped for. I've had the best job in the world. I wouldn't want any other job. I didn't want any other job. I've had the best job. I've never even considered a job change. I've never considered, before leaving here, never considered once ever changing my job in 30 years. Never even thought about it. It wasn't a job I wanted. It wasn't a job I coveted. There wasn't any job I even was looking forward to except my next day here. I loved having this job. It was the right job for me. I was handsomely rewarded. I was successful at it. It was the job I wanted. It's always competitive. You have to perform. That's part of it. I love that part. I've always loved that part. I love the competition. I like finishing first. I mean, that's what I believe in. That's what we try to do. And we try to win as much as we possibly can, and we've won a lot. So we've been very lucky. So now we'll spend the next 5 hours talking to you before I wrap things up. And, we'll reminisce a little bit. We'll talk about some stuff that's going on, too. We'll do some stuff also. We'll also go over the schedule coming up for the weekend. Get ready for some football. We'll do picks. Where I'll do picks next week, I don't know yet. You might have to, I'll alert Bonds when I decide where I'm doing them. I'm going to do them somewhere next week. I don't know where yet. We'll see how that works out, but we'll somehow get that information to you. And we'll get everything rolling for one final time here in the big city right after this.